Tim, how much longer you have before the next term?
August 2023 will be the next election.
Boss had asked me. He said, man, ask Tim, can he give me the keys to the city?
He sent me a message on Facebook.
Thank you. Yeah, he said, I said, man, I don't, keys to the city ain't, it's not like one of those videos that you see on TV, like somebody get the keys to the city, bro. You got to actually be inside. He said, well, I feel like I do. He read me the message to you. And he read the message that I guess you wrote him with the said that you only gave out one since you've been in office, and that was to Franklin. Mm-hmm. Dr. Franklin, yeah. And he was like, man, I feel like I do just as much. I said, bro. I said, by doing what? Taking your shirt off, talking about some church, bring churches back. Oh, man. He said, no, man, I be bringing people together in the community. Like, I said, yeah, you do that, bro. You do be bringing them back to inside the community.
You're on mute.
I'm on mute.
No, Dr. Abby.
Oh.
I thought he was trying to say something, I guess not. But yeah,
you still stay in Talladega?
Yeah.
He be driving. Dang, that's a long drive.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
I probably had to spend a night some nights.
All right, y'all, listen. I'm about to go live on Facebook. I'm about to push it on Facebook.
All right.
So just push it on Facebook through YouTube.
I saw.
Oh, let me see.
So we stay on this, right? We still stay on the Zoom, or we got to get off and go over there? Yeah.
I think we stay on here.
Yeah, that will make more sense.
I don't see the live, Dr. A. Well, what we talking about, Dre?
The keys to the city.
No, I'm talking about what we talking about on this.
Oh, basically, just giving a rundown of. It's just gonna be questions. So, Dr. Abner came to me with the idea of pretty much. He back now.
Hey, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, so you should go to my page. Oh, dang, I didn't hit the thing. I go back and edit. What's that? Okay, let me do this.
What you were saying, Dre?
You remember how Dr. Abner used to do manifest Mondays,
yeah,
in the days and stuff like that. So that's basically what we're rebooting. The Mondays, the motivation, starting off your week on a high note and highlighting the people inside the community. You know how the community always focus on, like, if you go talk to somebody about Talladega right now, they'll tell you all the things negative about Talladega, but they don't tell you about the things. It is some positive things,
right.
And people doing some positive, and students are doing some positive things inside the community that don't get that recognition. So that's what we're here for now. So every Monday, we're going to bring somebody different on here, and we're going to recognize them for what they're doing inside the community and highlighting it, because we think that people deserve their roses. Instead of just highlighting all the negative things, let's highlight the positive things. And then hopefully people will start seeing that, hey, I do. Because sometimes, a lot of people stir off and go a different way, just because they're not being recognized for. Imagine you making straight A's on your report card and your mama, you bring it home, your mama don't even care. You know what I'm saying? You're not being recognized for doing. Why do it? You know what I'm saying? Why I do the right thing when no one's looking if I'm not gonna be recognized for it? So we just want to give people their roses. We want to highlight, and we want to, and hopefully it'll encourage the community to step up and help out, And so I don't know if that makes sense, but
no, yeah, it did.
That's a great segue into our conversation, Dre. Thank you so much. That's a great segue. Man, it's a great, you described better than I could ever put it in words. And Pastor Tim, I call you Pastor Tim, Mayor Tim. And what Dre said is exactly what we thought would be best for us, is that we always highlight what's going wrong or what people are doing so negatively. But what we want to focus on is what are the great things that are happening in Talladega, and who are the people making it happen. So without further ado, we're going to go, sorry for the delay. We wish we can get it directly live on Facebook, but we'll go to YouTube live. I guess that has to work for us. I'm Monty B. I live in Talladega, not born and raised there, but I feel like I have been there for a long time. And I have with me my good friend, Dre. Dre, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Rodre Seals. I was born and raised in Talladega. Grew up on Knox Street, but my dad, he stayed up the street on Pearl Street, clear near Westgate. So I kind of grew up on both sides, the east side and the west side, as they would call it. But yeah, I'm born and raised in Talladega. Currently still in the military, pending captain right now. Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. We're moving mountains.
So we have the great honor and privilege of having as our very first guest, Mayor Tim Ragland. We're going to let Tim tell us a little bit about himself, and then we're just going to dive into a conversation, okay? Tim, just give us a little background about who you are, a little small bio, and we'll just hop straight into this conversation.
All right. Thank you guys for inviting me. I'm Tim Ragland, born and raised in Talladega, on the east side as well, on Knox Street. If you know the Edisons and the Smoots and the Raglands, they're my people. I've been fortunate to serve as mayor of Talladega since 2019, November 2019. First African-American mayor, youngest mayor in the last century. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you. So, Tim, you are, what year did you graduate from Talladega High School?
2009.
2009. And you, after that, you went to AUM, right?
I went to Marion Military Institute, and then I went to AUM.
Got you. All right, Dre, the floor is yours. Talk. You steer Tim into our conversation for me.
Oh, yeah. Hold on for a second. Let me finish this right quick. Sorry about that.
Yeah, you good.
So, Tim, I know many people may know him as the mayor, but he's also a great friend of mine. All through high school, that was pretty much my go-to guy, So to see where he is now, it's like it's a mind blowing. And so I really just have to give him his roses. I really have to give him his roses because I know the sacrifice that he made, to get there, and he know the sacrifice that he made to get where he is. So I guess my first question is, what made you? I know you always wanted to be go into the politics. To go down the politic road, but what initially made you want to come back to Talladega to say, hey, I want to run for mayor?
Mhm. Yeah, like it's always something that I wanted to do. When I looked at my hometown, and I saw that people weren't excited and proud to be from Talladega. I saw that Talladega was always in the news, but it was for something negative. Um, and I came back and I looked around and I didn't like what I saw. And so I decided, like, I'm gonna be the change that I want to see in my community. I'm gonna be the person that's not just on Facebook complaining or just talking to my friends complaining. Like, I wanted to do something to try to make our situation better. So I decided to throw my name in the ring and run for mayor.
Were you surprised that you won, Tim?
At the point that we got to the runoff, I wasn't surprised, but when we got to the runoff, I was shocked. I was shocked that we made it in the top two because there were six candidates, including myself, running. So when we made it to the runoff, I was really shocked. Yeah.
I mean, you beat an incumbent, and not only did you beat an incumbent, you're the youngest person to have ever, not just the first Black mayor of Talladega, but the youngest person to also hold the seat of mayor and to beat out an incumbent. Tell me, or talk to us a little bit about your strategy that you use that to help you secure this victory.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't have a lot of money when I was running for mayor. So I couldn't buy, newspaper ads and all that kind of stuff. So I had to use Facebook. Social media was one of my main campaigning platforms.
Right.
I also went to a whole lot of community events. I went to churches. I sent letters to churches. People had family reunions. I was at family reunions. I was out knocking doors. I was trying to meet and talk to as many people as I could because I felt like if they heard my plan and they heard my passion for making Talladega better, that they would vote for me. And so that worked out.
Nice. I mean, I knew I was proud when you had won, man. I was like, man, this is Lil Tim. This is Lil Tim. Tim always talked about Dre. Tim always talked about want to be a lawyer and all of that. This is amazing, man, to see you, live out what your ambitions were as a young kid.
Yeah, so because I mean, just to add on to that, Dr. Ahmed, like he was one of the ones, like he mentioned this like years before that's what he wanted to do. Like politics has always been one of his things, like his go-to. So it was like his passion, I should say. And so just to see him put that out into the universe and claim it, and it actually happened, it's motivational, you know what I'm saying? Because he's part of the reason why I stuck and stayed into college, you know what I'm saying? And he's part of the reason why I got in college. He's part of the reason why I, joined the military is you know what I'm saying? Like he was that influence. And just to see, so I wasn't surprised when he got mayor because me personally, I still was shocked though. It's kind of weird to explain, like I wasn't surprised because I knew what he was capable of doing. And I still don't see that this being the limit, I don't see this being the limit of what he can do, but I can definitely see him as the president. I can definitely see that, but it still will be shocked to see it, just because, hey, we grew up on the same street, like we grew up on the same, we stood at the same bus stop. So,
speaking of that, Drake, talk about the growing up on the same street. And I want you to talk to us, Tim, about, because I think sometimes people think that, nothing good can come from Talladega, if that makes sense. Or, I'm reminded of the story that can anything good come out of Nazareth? And sometimes people think nothing good can come out of Talladega. We look at the news and we see the violence that's happening in our community. I want you to, I guess, talk about growing up in Talladega, growing up in Knoxville. What was that like? And what were some challenges you faced then that may be similar to the challenges that we see now?
Yeah. I guess you got to start at the beginning. I was born to two teenagers. My parents were 16 years old when I was born. So, that means they didn't have a lot of education and won a lot of money. My dad went to federal prison for drugs. There was my story is similar to a lot of people in Talladega. And where you start doesn't determine how you end, where you end up, or how you finish. You know, your start is your start, but you play a role in where you go. So it's all about, you know, your drive, your passion, your discipline, to be who you want to be and to make happen what you want to make happen. Like Rodre said, man, I spoke it. I wanted it, and I spoke it a long time ago. And it took years and years to come to fruition. And in 2015, I was actually going to run for mayor. And then I talked myself out of it because I was fearful. And then in 2019, the time came around again, and I said, I'm going to do it this time. If I lose, I lose, but at least I tried.
That's it.
And so, yeah, man, for anybody out there who come from a similar background of mine, single parent household, sometimes mom working 2-3 jobs to make ends meet. To those mothers, your labor ain't in vain. To those kids, you can do anything you want. If I can be mayor of Talladega, Alabama, you can do, I mean, literally, the sky, no, the moon is the limit.
Mm.
Man, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Tim, you know, I was reading something that you said a while back, and they asked, you know, like, you know, why did you want to run for mayor? I think you wrote that, you know, you were tired of seeing the status quo. You saw a lot of the same issues that were present about 4 years prior to you running. And, you know, roads not being paved, buildings are vacant. And so you said, instead of being a part of the group that's always complaining, you said, I want to do something to make positive change in my community. But still, you know, you're mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm certain you've had some challenges in your way with people who are reluctant to change. So I guess, how has that impacted you in a way? And if it has or not, in what ways has that impacted you? Working with, when I say working with people, I'm not necessarily talking about councilmen or councilwomen, just talking about people in general who are reluctant to change or embrace new ideas.
Yeah, you know, I think that's one of our city's biggest challenges, is that we have a very linear way of thinking. And when I say that, I mean, we think that it always has to go the same way. You know, you can only you got to start at A and go to B. But in reality, sometimes you start at A and you go to Z, or you go to F, or you go to C first, and to get something done. And if the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. And so, you know, we definitely encounter people who are reluctant to change, to hesitate to change. And I attribute that to fear. They don't know, you know, if you change things, they don't know if they'll still have power. They don't know if they'll still, if the situation will change and they'll be in a worse position. And so we have to, you know, kind of lay out what we think will happen, or what we expect to happen with the changes that we want to make. I'm sure that's something similar to, you know, Rodre in the military, being a leader in the military, and you being a leader in the school. You know, you take over a situation, you have to first make the people, let people trust you. They know that your interest is their interest is in your heart, and that you care about their outcome. And so that's something that we got, and I'll say I need to do a better job at, is communicating my ideas and my plans and the things we're working on. Because, you know, this is people's lives. You know, people, sometimes they're afraid. They don't know what's happening. They may not understand the political process and the steps that things have to go through in order to get done. And so it's my job as mayor to make sure that they're comfortable. And if I have to, you know, walk people through it step by step, then that's something that I have to do.
Right. I like that. You know, life is not always A-B. Sometimes it's A-Z. Somebody argued, Dre, they say, well, you know, but that means things will be different. I'm like, well, I guess different is not always bad. You know, I think we think that different is bad. We think that, you know, that monotonous is okay to a degree. Yeah. We don't want to be different. We want to be like everybody else. But different is okay. And I think to reach the community or to reach the society we're in, we have to take different approaches. I used to hear people say that, yeah, we don't sing Amazing Grace in church, but that doesn't mean God's grace is not amazing. We still have the same message, but maybe our methods may have changed. So whatever it takes, and I like that idea, what you're saying, that, you know, sometimes you know, we're gonna go straight to Z, you know,
Right.
and sometimes we're gonna go to B. You know, who knows? Sometimes we might go backwards. You know,
Right.
But life is about discovering and finding new ways and opportunities.
Mhm. And that's the fun. That's what made life fun. Having the opportunity or having the ability to change and to grow. You know, like people, I fear somebody saying, "Oh man, you the same as when you was in high school." That's scary to me. I don't want to be the same person I was in high school. I don't want to be the same person I was in college. I want to be better. I want to be more mature. I want to have a different way of thinking, because as you grow and as you get older and as you experience things, you should change and you should be a different person.
If I can add, I remember when we all were at Choices. You remember that program, Choices?
Yeah.
So I remember Pastor Tim actually speaking, and he was saying that, and once he got done, speaking, people like that was in our age group, they were saying like, "Oh, I changed. And he was like, "Hey, you won't know you changed until you got back to the real world." Because and that's what we was tested at. The choices that we make all had consequences. I'm saying that to say, I remember like when we got back, Tim had expressed something to me, if I can say, about, your grandfather. You read his obituary, and one thing in the obituary said that he did was play checkers or something like that, or chess.
Yeah.
And you looked at me and you said, "That's all. Can I? I'm good."
Yeah.
He said, "That's all," because this is what motivated me. I'm just saying this because this is what motivated me. Is he lived his whole life, and this is what they have to say. Mm-hmm. He played checkers. He played chess.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I can't." And you said, "I can't live my life like that. I have to be more than just that." So, when people looking at the Tim now, I saw the Tim and this is why I'm so excited, because this is a lot of people quit when times get hard and things get hard, they quit. But I remember the Tim when he sat down and he was like, "I can't be like that. I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to be more than known just the checker player." I can't remember what game it was. The checkers. Yeah. You remember?
Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
And the sacrifice, they don't see. This is the thing. If people, the community need to know about the mayor Tim, because they didn't see Tim driving back and forth. They see the Tim now, but they didn't see Tim driving back and forth to Birmingham. You know what I'm saying? Looking up under the seats for change and quarters for gas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They didn't see the Tim that didn't have windshield wipers.
Mm-hmm.
Pull the wipers back and forth. They didn't see the Tim that was, you know what I'm saying? Like, we both falling asleep in the Ford Explorer, and my mama had to come pick us up because our car went crank. And we keep asking our parents money and stuff like that. But we was dedicated. We was hungry. We was hungry. We was hungry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it paid off. And see, that's what. So don't look at the mayor. And this is me because I know I was part of some of his journey. So don't look at this mayor and be like, "I can't do that." Like, we got different paths, or we have different, outlets, or we was dealt different hands. No, even if it was dealt different hands, hey man, that's just the test. In order to get to something, you must go through something. So that was Tim going through something. That was myself going through something. But don't quit. Don't quit, because it could have been easy. Like me, I had a 1.5 GPA at that time, and they would put me on academic probation, but I graduated with a 3.9. You know what I'm saying? I did a 3. I started surrounding myself around different people who wanted more and knew that I can do more out of myself. I mean, I can do more myself. So when you look at him, don't look at, "Oh, he's made it, he got it." That man worked. Trust me. he worked. Like I saw this man. We both were going up under couches and stuff like that, looking for loose change. You remember when we went to a gas station one time? The dude, we had quarters, and the dude didn't even want to let us count. He didn't want to count the quarters. They let us get $2 a gas.
Yeah.
Like,
for real.
That's important. To me, that's important. Like, that's important. That's sort of things that they need to know about doing in the other side of you to not give up. You know what I'm saying? Because you are us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are. Right. So, yeah.
That's right. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Anything else you want to share, Tim? You know, what you and Dre was sharing, it made me look up this quote I read a long time ago. It says that a man who views his life at 50 the same way he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. Mm-hmm. And you know, so that's why it's always important for us to learn from those lessons in life and to always adjust and adapt to make necessary changes. So you got this vision for the city, and you know that's what we're on. We want to know because you know it's easy to say we can live other places. It's easy to say, and for the most part, sometimes living other places is better for people. However, we still got family in Talladega. Mm-hmm. We still have kids there. So, what are your hopes right now for this generation in Talladega that currently reside there?
That's a great question.
Great question. No, I was saying that's a great question. Go ahead.
Yeah. My hope for this generation is that they have the opportunity to leave. I think you should leave home. But I want Talladega to be a place that they want to come back to. When you leave and you go to the military, you go to college, you go work somewhere else, I want you to come back home and not feel like you've settled. I want you to come back home and be proud of the place that you've come back to. And even while you're gone, I want you to be proud of to call Talladega your home. Your home. I want this generation to have the opportunities to get a better education. If that's college, if that's 4-year college, if that's trade school, whatever it is, I want them to have that opportunity and be prepared here in Talladega to go off and do those things. Because I know that having those ambassadors outside of Talladega only reflects well on the city. I want our next generation to feel like no matter where they come from, whether they live in Knoxville or Westgate or City Court or the Downs or whatever part of the city they live in, that they can achieve whatever it is that their heart and their passions are geared toward. So, and also I want, you know, the people that choose to stay here, I want them to have, you know, on the weekends, I want them to be able to go somewhere and have fun and feel safe while they're doing it. So yeah, those are the short version of my hopes for this next generation.
Awesome. So if you could do one thing today and money was not the option, money was like, money was there. If you could do one thing, what that one thing would be, if you could do it just today, the one thing you think you need to do right now, if money was not an option, what would be that one thing? So let me tell you what. Let me do it this way. Let me change this a different way, okay? If you could do one thing that appealed to the younger generation, what would be that one thing?
I'll bring some sort of entertainment venue, movie theater, skating rink, something fun for them to do that they can do on a continual basis that, you know, wouldn't get old. I think that'll be, some type of entertainment venue for young folks, for sure.
Struggling families.
If money wasn't an option, the city would send them a check every month of at least $500.
That's middle class families.
They would get a check a little bit of less amount, but also for middle class families, I would hope we have home development, more upper class apartments and homes for them to live in.
Right.
Elderly.
Things for them to do as far as entertainment wise. What else? Well, just one thing. Things for them to do entertainment wise so they can go and do, not only just movies, but go golf, something in the entertainment realm.
Schools.
For who?
Schools, education arena.
Schools. I would make one thing, right?
One thing.
STEM program, fully functioning STEM program.
Gotcha. Drake, anything you want to say?
If you can go back to your 20-year-old self, what's 5 things which you would tell yourself? 5 things that you would tell yourself.
5 things. 1, don't doubt yourself. 2, save some money. 3, don't date her. I just say it like that. 4, love your family.
Okay.
More.
Okay.
5, don't take yourself so seriously.
All right, so Tim, this is another round off now. The first thing come to your mind, you got to tell us. We haven't practiced yet. Me and Dre, you our first guinea pig, so we're gonna have fun with this, okay? So Dre, whatever come to your mind, you got to bring it to him. We're gonna give you one word, Tim. You tell us the first thing come to your mind as it relates to Talladega. One word, or 2 words, and you only got about like 5 seconds to respond. Dre, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
It could be funny. It could be however you want to do it. You ready?
All right.
Hold on. Say the instructions one more time.
We're going to give him 1 word or maybe 2 words, and he has about 5 seconds to get the first thing that comes to his mind about it.
Oh, okay.
As it relates to Talladega. I'm going to be a little funny, so I start off Walmart.
Bigger.
You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all hear me?
Yeah, Walmart.
Bigger.
Okay. Talladega College.
More students.
Okay. Chuck and Miller.
Arena. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Knoxville.
Home.
Okay.
Young
Dolph.
Rest in peace. Well, that's 3 words. R.I.P.
What you got for him, Drake?
Hold on. Big Lil Jims.
Funniest man alive. That's about 5 words, but it works.
Wings.
I don't know. Hungry.
Who got the best wings in Talladega?
Best wings? My mama.
You the mayor. You better choose wisely.
My mama. My mama.
I was about to say, you got about 3 or 4 wings places there. You know, so.
Right.
So Tim, we really want to do this just to tell people who you are and to encourage our young people.
Right.
That it doesn't matter where you come from, and all of us have come from some dismal situations, some dire circumstances. I heard you talk several times. You said first you talked about running for mayor, you didn't have any money. You said that. Then you talked about growing up at home, you didn't have much money. And then I heard Dre talk about how y'all were looking for money under the seats of cars. And that just goes to show that, our goal is to get the money, but not having it doesn't stop you from pursuing it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, Dre, anything else you want to share, Dre?
Yeah, I want to tell him thank you, you know what I'm saying? Because he had a lot of impact into Tim had a lot to do with my journey, and where I am right now. And a lot of the things that he said, to me, even just reading that obituary, and sharing that story actually helped motivate me because it made me we look at life as, hey, you're preaching your funeral now as you're living. You know what I'm saying? These are like this is our obituary that we're working on now. You know what I'm saying? So the things that we do in life, like like you said, don't take it for granted. Me personally, I would just like to say thank you. Yeah, I mean, even thank you to, people like his grandmother, you know what I'm saying? His grandma who used to, the only reason why it's not like we didn't have parents who didn't care. So when people sit here and they be like, if they look at this and they say they didn't have to do that, they didn't have to do that. But I think it was so much of a pride thing for us, the fact that we didn't want to keep asking our parents for money. But every time he did ask his grandma, every time I did ask my mom and my dad and stuff like that for money, they made it happen. So we're not sitting here taking it away from them. It was just a thing that we as men, we wanted something so bad. And I felt like, hey, man, it was just the level of encouragement. So if I can just say one thing to the youth out there, find you somebody that's if you're gonna struggle, at least struggle to aim for success. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit back and be struggling and killing each other over nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we both had something. We both had a vision. Find you somebody that understands your vision. Put people in your circle that understand your worth and understand your vision. So I appreciate you, Tim. Like, I really do. I really do appreciate you. Like, hey,
man, I appreciate you too.
Keep moving mountains, bro.
Rodre was one of the first people that I told I wanted to run for mayor. And as soon as I told him, like, he immediately was like, let's do it. You got it. And he was supporting me from like day one, before day one, really. So, hey, man, I appreciate Dre too. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for him. And of course, Dr. A, all the way back to 9th grade English. I wouldn't be here without you either, man. I appreciate all the talks and the ride home and everything, man. Choices, conferences, everything. Yeah, you definitely played a big part in my maturity and growing up and being a man. I appreciate you for that, for real.
What you think about bringing that back? Choices.
Right. Hey, you need it. Life is not filled with churches, filled with choices.
That's right. That's it. So, Mayor, I got one thing I want you to do, Mayor. I think you can make this happen. I want you to, me and Dre were thinking about this too, everywhere you go, these big cities have things to do on the weekend. So now they do the first Saturday.
Right.
You should convince Kevin Smith to host the first Sunday brunch.
So, we have second Saturdays every month on the square.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But something that I've talked with some folks from Talladega about is hosting a brunch. So that's something that's actually in the works.
It's gonna be a Sunday brunch?
It's gonna be on a Sunday, yeah.
Oh man, that'll be awesome. Let me know. I'll be glad to help.
Okay, I will. Because I think that's something we need to experience. If you hadn't experienced brunch, like, it's next level, man. Food, good music, some mimosas. It's a vibe.
You can't have mimosas in Talladega yet. That's the next thing.
We're gonna have some that day.
On that day.
Any parting words, Mayor Tim?
Yeah, man. Thank you guys again for inviting me. To all the young people out there, whatever your passion is, whatever your dream is, you can achieve it.
That's it.
Just because I'm telling you can achieve it doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. It don't mean that sometimes you're not going to want to stop and do something else. But if it was easy, everybody would do it. My boss lady, Chelsea, who's probably going to see this later, so I got to make sure I mention her. She told me when we first started dating, do the hard thing. And sometimes you have to do the hard thing to be successful, but it'll be worth it in the end. So do the hard thing. You can do it. And shout out to my baby girl and Mama.
Hey,
I know I said it in more questions, but what can we do? We talk about things changing in Talladega. We always look at the mayor. We look at the city council. What can we do? What do you need from us? those who are capable and able to do things?
Yeah, that's a great question too. I think the biggest thing that we need is your support. We need you to show up to council meetings. A lot of times, our council meetings are empty. And so we're advocating on behalf of the city. But then when you look at the audience and you look at who shows up, it looks like we don't have anybody backing us in what we're proposing and what we're saying. So people could show up to the council meetings. They're the first and third Monday of each month at 5 p.m. Here at City Hall. And if you can't come, watch it on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook Live, on the city's Facebook Live, and also share it to my page as well. So that at the very least you can keep up with what's going on in the city. And another thing that I'm going to do is every Tuesday following the council meeting, I'm going to do a recap of what happened in the council meeting so that you will know, the citizens will know what's going on in the city. And if you have any ideas, I don't think that I have all the best ideas. I'm open to anybody's ideas on things that they think will make our city better. So if you have an idea, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, reach out to me on any social media, really, through email at tragland@talladega.com, or you can call up here to the office at 256-362-8186. My extension is 1100. Happy to talk to you if you have any issues, concerns, any problems, anything you want me to know about, or any ideas you may have. I'm open to them. I love to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mayor Tim. Dre and I really do appreciate you. And we'll be back again next Monday, right, Dre?
That's it.
That's it.
I'll be tuning in.
Look, we love you. God bless you. And
hey, man, we love you too.
Manifest.
That's
it.
Peace.
Y'all have a good night.